is nearby Delhi, that is Ghaziabad. He has been elected for the second time in 2019. He was in army for not less than 42 years. And it was during his the same Indo-Pak war in 90s. I think he was part of the very activity. I hope our Honorable Vice Chancellor has also told much about General V.K. Singh ji. Sir, today we have 2 or 3 issues, but the time is very short. So in very short, I would only like to mention.
Let me start by invoking the blessings of Puji Dr. Raynewskannadatv. Present here on the stage, Shri Yogesh Nirani ji, the Minister for the Art and Medium Industries, Shri Dattatre, Shri Patil Devu ji, Shri Krishnaraj S. Deshmukh ji, Shri Shashit Sri Namoshi ji, Shri B. Patil ji, our MLC from Alagundi, Dr. Niranjan Mistry ji, the principal staff and the future of India, the students and the young people who are sitting there. A very good morning to each one of you. Let me start by saying that I am impressed by the smart cadets who are also sitting here and who led us to this location. Just give them a big hand. At the airport, when they told me that I have to speak to you, as usual, the first doubt that came in my mind was, which language? I was told you will speak both in English and Hindi. Then I thought that let me see the course of language that is being used, and I found that since it is English, let me continue in English. Is it okay with you? Yes, perfectly fine? Yes, I don't have to change it? Okay. Now that we are 1-to-1, it's a very interesting subject that has been chosen on national security and young India and the young people of India. When you talk of national security, there are many doubts that come. What is national security? What is it? And one of the good definitions that I can give you is, national security is anything that affects a nation, which means national security is guarding yourself from external aggression. National security is protecting yourself from internal insurrection and problems, which is called internal security. National security is guarding your economic security, which doesn't get disturbed by others. National security is also your energy security, on which we are dependent for a very long time. National security is now encompassing what happens in space, what happens in deep seas, what happens anywhere which will have effect on existence, prosperity and well-being of a nation. That is what national security is. And the most important part of this always is what is called internal security, because as they say in Hindi, जब घुन लग जाता है तो सब कुछ खत्म हो जाता है. Internal security is that sword that ultimately kills a nation. And that is why, as people who are the future of India, it is incumbent on you to understand the dangers that are posed by internal security. Today, as a democratic nation, and let me tell you, I've been to more than 60 countries. We who are the mother of democracy started from. We are the ones who brought out this principle in ancient days. It's a different thing that our history doesn't teach it, because history is always written by the hunter and not by the hunted. It is a history which has been written by people who colonized us and who aggressed us. And therefore we have forgotten that we are the ones who gave the concept of democracy to them. Unfortunately, what we imbibed after the colonial past left was a version of democracy which actually meant that everything is free. I can do what I want. I have no responsibility. I have all the rights in democracy, but I don't want to contribute anything which involves responsibility to the nation. And that is what breeds internal issues when we forget our responsibility. You go to any nation and you will find that there is a great involvement of the citizens to not only protect the nation but also to ensure that internally there are measures in which the citizens become the defense to fight internal security. In our case, it doesn't happen. For the simple reason that let me take you back to 1857. The first war of independence, people call it survival mutiny, but that was the first war of independence. The whole nation came together. There was no difference in religion, there was no difference in caste, there was no difference in groups, there was no difference in communities. Everybody wanted to throw out the colonial power. And we almost succeeded. It is a different thing that Mangal Pandey started his action 1 month earlier. Had he done it 1 month later, maybe the story was different. Because all the emissaries who had got to liaise and to talk to the Sikh kingdom and to the Buddha kingdom could not reach, and therefore they were left out when the war broke out. And ultimately, those are the ones whom the colonial powers used to regain power from a power that was almost lost. There was a lesson that they learned at that time, and that lesson was very simple. If India becomes one, forgets the differences of religion, caste, creed, communities, they will not allow anybody to rule them. That was the lesson the British learned. And so started the famous divide and rule of theirs. They divided us in religion, they fed people all kinds of things, they carried out propaganda, they carried out active, if I can call it, rebellion in the mind of people. They wrote textbooks and others which perpetuated this divide and rule. They divided us in communities, they divided us in caste, they just carried on. And the unfortunate part is, in 47 when we became independent, our leaders who came up at that time, all good people, but mostly educated abroad. Mostly educated abroad. They followed what the colonial masters had done. And we entered an era of vote bank politics and we got divided. Let me ask you a simple question. Whenever military forces. We do that. Do we do it? Why do we do it? We have the administration, we have the police forces, we have everybody else. What is it that the military forces do which results in success? And why do they succeed? From the same house, a person may be going to the military, a person may be going to the administrative services. From the same village. What is it that becomes different in this person who goes to the military? One, the person who goes to the military does not believe that he has to be divided by religion. Two, he does not believe that he should be divided by caste or community. So they work together as one and succeed in whatever work. And I want you to keep this lesson in your mind. We are all one. In the army, we see all religions in one small tent. Nobody fights. And by nature, as Indians, we all respect all religions. And let me again give you another example. There was a delegation which went to Israel. They went to Jerusalem. And Jerusalem has got three very ancient things. You have got the church, you have got a very old mosque, Al-Aqsa mosque, and you have got the Wailing Wall of the Jews. So our delegation went in front of the church and they did. They went in front of the mosque and they did this. They went to the Wailing Wall, they again did this. So the Israeli who was taking the measures, which religion do you follow? So there in India, we respect all religions. Now he would mystify. It is already inherent in all of us. So let nobody divide. Nobody. All religions are same. They all believe in one superpower, whom we cannot see, we cannot hear. Some people may hear it. And we all follow our own paths to take his blessings, or her blessing, whatever you want to call that superpower. Now, if that is the case, where is the reason for us to be there? And you, as young people, please keep this in your mind. The day you get divided, you will lose control of yourself. You will lose control of your community. You will lose control of whatever you have earned. You will lose control of everything. Because then reason becomes totally irrelevant and you get carried away by other things. Therefore, the very first thing that is important is that if we want unity, we have to forget about religion, differences. What somebody teaches, everything is good. So far as it is good for the community, it doesn't make any difference. Be like the army. Respect everything. You don't know which God will give you blessings. And that is why as Indians we respect all. The other thing is, and let me now tell you what Shri Ravi Shankar said about us. And I thought that it was a very apt explanation. He said anybody who attains knowledge, mark the word knowledge, and then passes it on to others and teaches others is a Brahmin. A person who uses that knowledge for trade and commerce is a Vaishya. If he uses it for wielding weapon, he becomes a Kshatriya. If he doesn't attain knowledge, nor is interested in passing that knowledge, then he is good for that. And in this there is no difference. The day this person who is down below, who at some point of time in his life wakes up and says, "No, I must attain knowledge," he will become a Brahmin. We have got many examples in our scriptures. There are people who became rishis. They have their own ashram, they taught. Barrier of caste is only in terms of knowledge and other things. There is no difference. All of us have got same blood. All of us have got same form. All of us have got same brain. Let this not divide us, because this is what people are using to create internal differences. And if you as young people can do this, then let me tell you, half our problems of internal security will be gone. Because then nobody can touch you. Nobody can do propaganda to put you onto a different path. We need to watch out as citizens if something is going on. We need to keep our eyes and ears open, because today India is rising. India is the only country in the world today which has got a growth rate of more than 6%. No other country has got that. The type of investments that are coming to India, they are coming because everybody in the world is seeing as India, which is going at a much faster pace. Today you are respected among the community of nations. Today your passport is respected. Today people talk about India as India, which has got a young population which is making a difference. That is why we have got so many startups, we have got so many unicorns, and if the Indians left NASA, NASA will become the farm. That is the path. And when you start getting path, when you keep getting stronger, then people will nibble at you. People will create problems for you. People will create insurrections every day. People will sow differences amongst us. And that is what is internal security. So we as people of India, and you especially as younger people of India, who have the future in whose hands the country will rest at some point of time in the coming future, need to be very cognizant of this particular issue, that you have to protect the integrity by being vigilant, by looking at people, literature, propaganda which will divide us or create differences which will lead to internal security issues. Are you with me? Understood so far? Is there anything more to be said? Internal security is very, very important. We must be very vigilant and have got full faith in the young India today, especially all of you young people who are sitting here as students, to be able to keep this as a lesson in your mind, that it is you who will make a difference. Our time is gone. We have seen better part of the history, but now the future is yours. And that is what will make a difference. And I find it a very good idea that was said some time back, that Bharatiya Janata Party is doing crowd sourcing to make a manifesto which meets aspirations of people. We don't get people who think it is so. It is your country. It is your state. How do you want this state to be? What is it that you want? And why you don't put that everything should be free? It can never be free. And the other day I saw a very interesting cartoon where a cat, which was drinking its food or eating its food, suddenly a rat comes out there. This cat has forgotten everything because it is getting everything free. So don't believe in free things. Earn it yourself and you will be able to master whatever you want. Let's all pledge to ourselves that we will be the soldiers will guard India from within. Because it is this security threat from within which makes us weak every day. India is looking forward, India is being respected, and India will be respected much more in the next 25 years to come. So as we approach 2047, to complete our 100 years, let's have a strong India on your shoulders, making a difference where you will be the guardians of internal security. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.